Hey everyone, it's Kay with Aquarius Oracle Tarot, and just wanted to deliver some oracle messages. I'm going to be using the Spirit Animal Oracle by Frederick Calandini. I really fell in love with this oracle deck. It's beautiful, and I think probably because I have this affinity for spirit animals and all that stuff. And they're just like this huge deck, and what I'm going to be doing is just shuffling a little bit. I hope that you're finding this message from a good place. If you're not in a good place, I hope that this message helps you. Just remember that this is a general oracle reading, so it may or may not resonate with what you need to hear. And if it doesn't, just, leave it here. Don't take it with you. So, I love this oracle deck. It's gorgeous. Okay, so what messages do we have today, Spirit? Ooh, okay, we're starting off with the cat. Independence. I am definitely a cat owner. I have 3 cats, and they are really fascinating at times because you know how cats love to, they're kind of seen as lazy, but really they're just they only need what they need when they need it, right? They're not going to come around much unless they want to. So I feel like, independence is a great word for where we're starting from. And, so I think that the situation being is that you're currently feeling independent, and that you're looking maybe to form a relationship or maybe new community, or maybe you're just satisfied with being independent. But I think that right now, you're not really feeling so much at peace. I've got the Dove card coming up, which is peace. And the Dove card, to me, Dove is always, I think of morning doves. You know how you hear them sometimes in the morning. And I think that, it's like you're finding peace within yourself through your independence is what I'm feeling like, or that you're seeking peace, probably through others, but you're a very independent person, and the place where you need to find your peace is within, right? So I think that maybe you're challenged right now in finding peace, and that being independent maybe isn't really doing that. So you're seeking maybe others or more community. But peace within yourself is where you're looking for, because peace within yourself creates peace in others and all of that. So I think that in order for you to find peace, I love this turkey. So you've been very independent. You've, sort of worked for yourself. You've done a lot of things for yourself, and you're not really finding happiness there. With the Dove card, it's like you're like I said, you're looking for peace and you're not really finding it where you're at. So I've got the turkey comes in, the turkey spirit. And turkey spirit, immediately I think Thanksgiving, right? But I also think of giving, just being thankful, giving to others, being generous with others, with your time, with your money. Maybe being independent has you sort of in a place of seeing things just from your own perspective. And maybe that seeking of others is going to be a healthy way for you to see the world through other eyes. Because, sometimes when we're all on our own and we're being independent, like a cat, we provide for ourselves. And, unless there's a specific reason we need to provide for others, being on your own sort of makes you a little bit selfish in a way. And I don't mean it in a bad way, because sometimes we need to be selfish with ourselves. But you're not happy there, right? So that's where the Dove comes in, and it's like, hey, you need to do a little bit different stuff if you're going to find peace. Um, and the turkey card coming up makes me think immediately your resources that you've kind of gained through your independence, you need to share them, right? You need to be more generous with them. Don't afraid to be generous, because when you're afraid to be generous, that comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of need. It comes from a place that you don't want to come from, right? Because you've worked really hard for your independence, so you can be on your own and do what you want on your own, but you're unhappy there. And I'm telling you that if you spread around some of your resources and you are not afraid to be generous, because again, there's plenty to go around. So the turkey is telling you, in order for your energy to flow freely towards peace, you need to focus on more generosity and, just being free with that. Kind of supports more abundance for everybody. So kind of like where you're looking to find some inner happiness and inner peace, and inner peace leads to peace externally with others. So generosity is a wonderful path there. And Turkey Spirit reminds us that we can be thankful and be generous with what we have. It's not really material things that you need. It's that helping others, that generosity towards others, that sense of community. Maybe you need to have some friends over for a nice dinner, provide the dinner, ask them for nothing, something like that. Or maybe you've been feeling like you need a little bit more community. I know with the way things are in the world, it's tough because we've all been sort of robbed of that community in many, many ways, and that in-person community. And so when turkey comes up, I think family dinner, friend dinner, extended family dinner, that type of stuff. So I hope that resonates with you. And it, for many people who've been sort of cloistered throughout this sort of situation that we have in the world, where you're not finding that peace and you're not finding that happiness, it comes through community and sharing what you have with others. Okay. And so then I have the squirrel comes up next. Squirrel is organization, which I find very interesting. And I think that, so for me, I feel like the message that I'm getting is the squirrel spirit wants you to be the one who makes this happen, right? So what I'm trying to say is you have to make the initial organizing of this gathering, okay? Once you start to gather people together, they're going to want to join you, right? I think everybody is in a place where they could really use some gathering, some support, some community. And let's just face it, we are human beings that are meant to connect physically and emotionally and spiritually. And we can't do that unless somebody takes the step to start this process, right? So where we're lacking in this happiness and this peace, it's because we're separate. It's because we're divided. It's because we need to come together and share our abundance with each other, because there's plenty to go around. And your advice here is to be the one that starts it, right? Because you're the one sensing this need for peace, this need for happiness, this need for community. And you are the one who has to create that, for yourself and for others that are close to you. And once you start doing that, it's like a ripple. You have a ripple effect that happens when you take these actions. And so, interesting, squirrel, I think so many people think of them as like this nuisance, but they get things done, right? The squirrel, is collecting and storing and organizing themselves so that they can survive, and organization is a great thing to tap into when you're trying to get folks to be in community with each other and share with each other what they have. So take the time to plan, right? Take the time to make your next steps in a careful way. Don't just dive right in. The squirrel energy is not the kind of energy that is like an ant, right? They're not ready to get it done immediately. They're taking their time. They're making their plans, they're gathering resources, they're, creating something that's going to be put into motion in their own time. Whereas ants are kind of like go, go, go. So this isn't ant spirit coming through. This is squirrel spirit coming through. So take your time with, thinking about what you're going to need to make this happen. And then make it happen, because it's time to do that. What you get out of this, I see rhinoceros spirit come through here. And that's so interesting to me. I think rhinoceros are fascinating because they remind me so much of like a dinosaur kind of. And I think that you'll realize through the rhinoceros spirit that you're protected. Okay. So the protection is kind of what comes with rhinoceros spirit. But what I mean is whatever's holding you back in your kind of like solo independent sort of way, that keeps you from this peaceful sort of community sharing, is maybe just you're worried about your feelings getting hurt, that you're going to be maybe rejected from these offers of community, that people won't come, that it won't be worth your time and all of that stuff. But this is what comes from you doing these actions. Okay. So, you're going to be protected from, people hurting your feelings, because it's up to you, to be confident in yourself and not worry about what other people are thinking. You're kind of in charge of what comes through to you. And rhinoceros spirit is basically, they're not worried about others coming at them, because they are a tough, animal that is, like many animals, protective of their young, protective of their community, right? They travel together and all of that stuff. So you're going to get that out of this process, because when you build a community around you, when you share with others around you and you rely on each other, for support, and you're not divided, then you're protected by a community now, and not just having to worry about being on your own, fending for yourself, having to be just supporting yourself anymore, because now you're part of a community, and that community brings protection. It brings sharing. It brings stability. I think of a lot of stability when I think of a rhinoceros, actually. And it brings that protection, a protection from, negative stuff, whatever it may be that you're fearful of. If the energy around you right now is very harsh, it's kind of because you're tackling everything on your own. And what you need is peace, and what you need is sharing and generosity and community, and taking your time to put the right things in place to make that successful. And that way you get your community around you. So I hope this message finds you in a good place, a good independent place, and that way you can make it happen. I hope that that's resonating with you, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.